In the beginning was the scream, not the word. A cry buried beneath centuries of sermons, systems, sedatives. You heard it once, long ago, before the world named you. Before your spine bent beneath a morality, not your own. You were born a tempest, a wild hymn, but they dressed your longing in shame and called it sin, and you believed them. You, the thunderer, learned to whisper. Look at yourself. Look with wrathful clarity, not as you are told to be, not as you are praised for being, but as the beast that trembles in your chest at night, the one that dreams of raising temples and laughing at the sky. Why do you shrink from it? Why do you kneel before your jailers and call it virtue? Renunciation is not purity. It is cowardice masquerading as discipline. Desire is not corruption. It is the God seed screaming for birth. They taught you to amputate your hunger, to clothe your instincts in doctrines, to castrate your will and offer it to idols made of paper and pity. You child of stars, heir to chaos. You were not made to apologize for the fire in your veins. Oh, you, dreamer, shackled to a machine. You, priest of the spreadsheet, monk of the algorithm. Do you not see? This world does not reward virtue. It devours the meek and canonizes mediocrity. The obedient are decorated with empty praise, while the defiant write the names of gods into the bones of time. Renounce renunciation. I say unto you, the flesh is holy. The urge is revelation. He who suppresses desire poisons the well of becoming. The saints are liars. The ascetics are fugitives of the real. It is not the suppression of temptation that makes you strong. It is the full-faced gaze into the abyss of your want and the will to devour it whole. Desire is not your enemy. It is your compass. Let it burn. Let it ache. Let it tear through the polite masks. The world you have inherited is a cemetery of silent screams. You must become the resurrection, not by waiting, not by meditating, but by unshackling the holy hunger that sleeps beneath your ribs. You were not born to obey. You were not born to balance accounts, to optimize routines, to fade politely into the background hum of human noise. You were born to erupt, to disturb, to love like lightning, to walk with thunder in your step, to offend the sleepwalkers with the brilliance of your unrepentant aliveness. Every time you deny your longing, you die a little. Every time you apologize for your power, a part of your soul rots. The sickness of this age is not excessit, is anemia of will. They praise restraint, but only because it makes you easier to rule. Hear me now. There is no virtue in hiding. There is no dignity in taming the lion of your being. The lie they fed you is this, that peace is the absence of war. But I say peace is the conquest of cowardice. And the battlefield is your own chest. You are not broken. You are bound. And I have come to break. This world, this docile machine of decency, tells you to compromise, to adapt, to lower your eyes in the face of power. But you were made to create power, not to inherit it, not to beg for it, but to call it forth from the abyss, naked and roaring. When did you stop believing in your own storm? When did you let the dullards convince you that rage was unbecoming? I say rage is holy, lust is sacred, pride is divine. All that you have been told to fear is precisely what will set you free. There is no salvation in absence. There is no transcendence in denial. The saints who told you to renounce the world, they feared the world, but you must become its master. Do not fast. Feast. Do not kneel. Climb. Do not retreat into the sterile heaven of enlightenment. Bring heaven down. Burn it into the earth. Do not trust the man who does not burn. Do not follow the teacher who has silenced his hunger. For he has not conquered himself. He has amputated the parts that scared him. A God who cannot bleed is no God at all. You are not here to be good. You are here to be whole. And wholeness is fury, lust, joy, grief, ecstasy, all singing in one unbearable note of yes. Let your desires rise like a serpent from the dust. Let them coil around your shame and strangle it. Let the fire pour from your eyes like vengeance. You do not need permission to exist. You do not need to be loved to be real. You do not need to be forgiven to be whole. You were not born to be understood. You were born to unmake the world, and from the rubble, to forge a throne of your own bones. Then listen. Listen not with ears, but with the marrow of your defiance. You have mistaken your leash for grace. You have called your master's smile freedom. But I say, there is no freedom without fury. The one who is calm in a cage has not awakened, he has withered. Your chains are not golden. They are rusted with the blood of 1,000 mornings you surrendered to comfort. They told you renunciation was the path to purity. But what is purity if not sterilization? What is holiness without heat? You fasted from your instincts and called it strength. But it was only fear, dressed in white. Every denied desire became a phantom gnawing at your spine. Every suppressed urge became a ghost, dragging its chains through your dreams. You think you are moral because you have not acted. But abstention is not virtue, it is vacancy. I tell you, the one who devours his darkness and dances in its ashes is closer to godhood than the one who hides behind silence. And do you still believe in sin? Then you still believe in cages. The sin is not indulgence, it is surrender to shame. You who dream of transcendence, do not fly from flesh, incarnate it. Consecrate the body. Make your blood a hymn to the eternal return. The monks are dead. The priests are echoes. The empires of guilt are collapsing in on themselves like dying stars. What remains? You, naked, furious, infinite. You, in the center of your own abyss, staring not into nothingness, but into the possibility of everything. And what do you see? A hunger that could swallow nations, a will that could fracture mountains, a fire that no doctrine could tame. Let that be your gospel. Let that be your revolution. Do not look for meaning. Burn through meaning until only power remains. They will call you dangerous. They will call you perverse. They will call you mad, good. For only the madman is awake in a world of sleepwalkers. I do not ask you to be good. I demand that you be true. Not ethically true, not spiritually true, but existentially volcanic. Let your truth shatter mirrors. Let it leave blood on the altar of every lie you once worshipped. You want to be free? Then kill the part of you that needs approval. You want to be sovereign? Then drown the voice that says, be careful. Every virtue born of fear is a lie. Every principle that neuters your will is a betrayal. Rip the halo from your head. Light it on fire. Use the flames to forge a crown that bleeds. There is no path. There is only the step. There is no destiny. There is only the decision. And when you choose with the arrogance of the gods, you are not here to balance your soul. You are here to ignite it. You are not here to find peace. You are here to create storm. So let it rise. The violence of your becoming, the thunder of your refusal, the ecstasy of your unashamed hunger. Let the world recoil. Let the angels weep. You will not be forgiven, and you do not need to be. You are the sin that creates new values. You are the serpent that guards the tree of unspoken truths. You are the wolf who howls not for a pack, but for the joy of echoing against the abyss. So howl. Howl until the stars remember your name. Do not ask to be understood. Understanding is the cage of the tame, the coffin of those who seek comfort in consensus. You were not sculpted for agreement. You were forged in collision. You do not need to explain yourself to the dead. You do not need to justify your storm to the sandcastles of convention. The wind does not ask the leaf's permission to tear it from the tree. Be the wind. Every apology you make for your power is a sacrifice on the altar of mediocrity. You were not born to explain. You were born to proclaim. Your voice was not made for pleasantries. It was made to shatter ceilings, to wake the sleeping gods that still twitch beneath your skin. Stop playing dead to please the corpse keepers. You want peace? Then conquer yourself, not with denial, but with devotion to your chaos. Mastery is not stillness. It is the storm you ride with eyes open and spine unbroken. It is not found in silence, but in the roar of your own blood, refusing to kneel. Look around you, this culture of self-erasure, this cult of productivity and politeness, this cemetery of passions embalmed in digital gloss. They have convinced you that your soul is a glitch in the system, that your intensity is an error to be corrected, that your desire is an illness to be treated. But I say, you are not a malfunction, you are the divine threat to their order. And they fear you, not for your weakness, but for your fire, for your refusal to be named, caged, scheduled. You are dangerous because you remember. You remember the ecstasy of becoming. You remember the scream that sang you into flesh. You remember that life is not a ladder, it is a flame. So burn. Burn through their commandments. Burn through their virtue signals. Burn through their desperate attempts to flatten you into an algorithm-friendly ghost. Every time you play small, a part of the cosmos goes dark. Every time you betray your voice, a universe implodes in silence. You think you are one person, but inside, you are legions. A pantheon of forgotten gods, the murdered child, the denied lover, the ecstatic heretic, the future tyrant. Let them speak. Let them rise. Let them devour the bland mask you wear to survive 9-to-5 martyrdoms. You think sacrifice makes you good? Then you do not understand divinity. The gods do not ask for blood because they are cruel. They ask because transformation costs. You must give something real, your fear, your shame, your false humility. You must give them your safety, and in return they will give you sovereignty. There is no sacred without danger. There is no truth that does not kill some part of you. If your awakening doesn't terrify you, it's just another dream designed to keep you docile. The real awakening is not light, it is fire. Not peace, it is possession. Not harmony, but rupture. The real awakening tears you apart and dares you to stand anyway. So stand. Stand in the ruins of your excuses. Stand in the ashes of your old names. Stand naked in front of the abyss and say, I am. Say it not with hope, but with hunger. Say it not with pride, but with presence. Let the gods weep. Let the heavens crack. Let the dead scream for comfort. You will not kneel again. You will not kneel again, not to false gods, not to dead ideas, not to the whimpering voice within that begs you to shrink. That voice is not your conscience. It is your cage. It speaks with the tone of caretakers, mothers, teachers, priests, all those who taught you that obedience was love, that silence was maturity, that to want deeply was to betray your better self. But your better self was a muzzle. Rip it off. You were not meant to fit. You were meant to fracture. The puzzle they gave you does not have your shape. And why should it? You are not a piece. You are the table being flipped. You are the floor cracking beneath the weight of unspoken truths. You are the scream in a world of whispers, and that makes you sacred. They will call you unstable. They will diagnose your divine unrest. But I say, let instability reign. Let the walls tremble. The foundations must fall if you are to rise. Yes, rise. Not gently, not gradually, but like an earthquake, like a prophecy returning in blood. Rise from the wasteland of compromise. Rise from the bureaucratic religion of realism. Realism, the shrine of the small-souled. What is real, if not the limit imposed by those too weary to imagine? Crush it, shatter it, redefine it. Let your existence become the new reality, the impossible proof that obedience is not the only path. Do not wait, do not plan, do not delay your eruption for the sake of strategy. The volcano does not ask for approval before it annihilates the horizon. You are here for that moment when the old world sees you and flinches, when everything that has tried to contain you realizes it has failed. And what of love? Let us speak of it, but not in the way the cowards do. Love is not surrender. Love is not soft. Love is the clash of stars, the collision of sovereign souls who do not need each other, yet choose to burn in orbit. Love is not safety, it is danger willingly entered. Do not love like a beggar. Love like a god. Bring your full hunger, your full height, your full madness. Let it be a love that terrifies the half-dead and resurrects the wild. And if they leave you good, let them. Let every lukewarm body fall away until only the crucible remains. You will be alone, yes, but alone like a mountain, alone like a storm, alone like the first thought that ever dared to break the silence. That is not loneliness, that is divinity. Now look at your life. Look without flinching. Do you see it? The smallness you have tolerated, the hollow victories, the tepid dreams, the rituals of mediocrity, dressed in the costume of progress. Burn it all. I do not mean improve, I mean annihilate. Evolution is too slow. What you need is detonation. Create yourself like a weapon, tempered not by discipline but by vision, not by self-denial, but by self-devouring. Feed on every rejection, every exile, every wound. Become so vast that even your pain becomes a kingdom. The world will not save you. It is not designed for salvation. It is designed for sleep. You must resurrect yourself. You must tear through the membrane of the given and enter the realm of the taken. Nothing will be handed to you. So steal it, not with theft, but with audacity, with the violence of one who knows his hunger is more holy than any rule meant to deny it. And if you fall, fall with your fists clenched around fire. Fall with your eyes open. Fall screaming your name into the blackness so that even the abyss must remember who defied it. There is no shame in the fall, only in never having leapt. You do not need to be ready. You need only to be ruthless. Ready is a lie whispered to delay your transformation. You were ready the moment you realized you were in chains. You were ready the moment you felt the ache of unlived life pulsing like a siren in your blood. So now, rise. Not like hope, like vengeance, like a forgotten God remembering his name. Do not seek the path. Be the path. Do not follow the light. Become the blaze. Because this is your kingdom. This is your fire. This is your war cry, your liberation, your irreversible act of becoming. You are not waiting for a sign. You are the sign. Then hear me, O you who have not yet roared. You who still clutch your chains and call them destiny. You who sip despair from silver cups and call it wisdom. The time for subtlety is over. Subtlety is the art of the enslaved. You are not subtle, you are volcanic. The age of carefulness has ended. The age of sacred violence begins. You have mistaken civility for civilization. You have confused stillness with peace, confusion with depth, humility with hiding. Tear these masks. Off-tear until your face bleeds truth. They gave you polite lies and called it knowledge, handed you facts like bullets, but never the will to fire. I say, knowledge is not enough. Truth without fire is just another form of sleep. You know too much and feel too little. You are over-informed, under-awakened, and you wonder why your gods no longer speak? They drowned in your data. The soul does not rise on algorithms. It rises on sacrifice. not of others of delusion. The price of awakening is everything you thought was you. Can you pay it? Can you slaughter your persona on the altar of realness? Can you cast your legacy into the flames and watch it burn without reaching for the ash? Can you walk naked into the desert of your unfiltered self and not look away? This is not a test. This is the edge of the known, the edge of your script, the edge where the story dies and the myth begins. And here, at this edge, you must choose. Not between right and wrong. Those are illusions. But between breath and blaze, between comfort and cataclysm, between being understood and being real. Understand this. The future does not belong to the careful. It belongs to the myth-makers, the soul sculptors, the God-eaters, those who shatter paradigms and rebuild them from the bones of what once passed for truth. What will you worship when your old gods die? Who will you become when no one is watching? What will you do when the applause fades and the silence swells and the only voice left is your own, raw and unmasked? The herd is dying, not in blood, but in boredom, not in screams, but in sighs. They drown not in oceans, but in scrolls. This is the slow suicide of those who refuse to want. But you are not the herd. You were born from thunder. So I ask you, no, I dare you. Want. Desire with the ferocity of a collapsing star. Demand with the pride of gods drunk on their own becoming. Create not because the world needs it, but because you must or die. You fear arrogance, but I tell you, arrogance is the seed of worlds. The cosmos was not born from humility. The Big Bang did not ask permission. Create like that, not for approval, not for legacy, but for the sheer joy of desecrating limitation. You are not here to fit into a world someone else made. You are here to set it on fire and name the ashes after yourself. And yes, it will cost you everything that was false, everything that was borrowed, everything that was small enough to be called acceptable. Let it die. Let it all die. Because only then can you begin. Only then will you stand. Not as a citizen, not as a follower, not as a name in a registry, but as the unspeakable, unrepeatable eruption of life that you are. Not made, unleashed. And what does it mean to be unleashed? It means the end of moderation, of measurability, of being palatable to the blind and soothing to the dumb. It means you no longer ask, is this too much? But rather, is this enough to shatter the sky? You were not sculpted for symmetry. You were not born to be balanced. You are the imbalance that reminds the universe it is still alive. The unleashed one is not liked. He is not followed. He does not network, does not compromise, does not barter his soul for applause. He is not invited to conferences. He is not branded, monetized, or algorithmically boosted. The unleashed one walks alone, but not in despair. He walks in command, leaving behind footprints like craters and breath that taste like apocalypse. They will say, he's lost himself. No, he has shed himself. They will say, he's gone too far. No, he has returned to where others feared to begin. They will say, he's dangerous. And they will be right. To be unleashed is to abandon the idea of being ready. Readiness is the lullaby of the cowards. You are not a student of life. You are its eruption. No more waiting for the stars to align. No more consulting the manuals of the meek. You are the alignment. You are the celestial riot. And what shall you do with this unleashed power? You will tear beauty from the mouth of void. You will pull ecstasy from the marrow of your despair. You will take everything you were told to fear and make art of it. You will take your shame, your lust, your rage, your heresy and build temples from them. Your failures will become fountains. Your wounds will become weapons. Your contradictions will become cathedrals. You will create not as an act of expression, but of domination. You will etch yourself into the fabric of being. You will not make an impact. You will scar existence. Do not speak of legacy. Speak of eruption. Legacy is for those who wish to be remembered. But you are not here to be remembered. You are here to be impossible to forget. There will be no statue of you, only craters where the world once stood. No school will bear your name, but the wind will still carry your defiance long after empires rot. You will not be mourned. You will be invoked by the wild-eyed, by the misfit titans, by the next wave of sacred heretics clawing their way out of the sleep-choked womb of the modern. And when they ask, "Who gave you permission?" you will smile, with blood in your teeth and fire in your breath, and say, "I did," because power is never granted, it is taken. Because salvation is not a gift. It is stolen from the mouth of the void. You will no longer serve meaning. You will create it. Not one meaning, not a tidy slogan, but a maelstrom of meanings, a blasphemous hymn of lived paradox, so vast and burning that the weak must avert their eyes. You are not a vessel for some moral order. You are the beginning of new orders, not the keeper of tradition, but the pyre where tradition burns to feed the next myth. You do not preserve, you initiate. Now, listen, with the ears of what remains after the fire. This life, this brief, terrifying scream between two silences, it is not a test. It is not a trial. It is not a preparation for something else. It is the arena, and you are the beast, and the crowd is inside you, cheering for your death or your glory, and no one is coming to save you, because no one should. To wait for salvation is to insult the God sleeping in your bones. To beg for deliverance is to betray your birthright. You were not born to be saved. You were born to rise without it. So rise not like a saint, but like a storm. Not like a martyr, but like a god, reborn through wrath and ecstasy. Let the old world fall. Let the ashes sing your name. Let every moment from now on be a sword drawn from your breath, cutting through illusions, carving you into the marrow of time. The question is no longer, what is the meaning of life? The question is, what meaning will you force this life to kneel before? You have walked with me through fire, not the fire of punishment, but the fire of remembrance, the flame that melts masks, devours lies, and renders the soul naked as the first scream that cracked the void. And now you stand not clean, not complete but true, scorched and sovereign. Look behind you not at regret, but at the smoke of what you once called self. Can you still feel it? The aching stillness you mistook for peace, the tight-lipped virtue that made a mausoleum of your heart. You traded so much for approval, for safety, for order, but what you gain now cannot be measured and comforted, is inward thunder. It is spine. You are not who you were. You are not who they shaped. You are not even a name. You are a force no raw and radiant, untranslatable. You no longer fit the frame of the world because the world was too small. And now, you carry your own horizon. This is not about being better. This is not about being healed. This is about becoming what you were before fear was inserted into your bloodstream. Before guilt clouded your yes, before shame muted your howl. You do not need to be fixed. You were never broken. You were buried. And with this voice, this fire, this relentless mirror, we came to resurrect you. Not gently, not quietly, but as a sacred eruption. And what now? What of the world, this dying theater of roles and repetitions? You will walk among them, yes, but not of them, no longer begging to be seen. no longer trading your blaze for crumbs of belonging. You will wear your hunger openly. You will speak enlightening. You will stand like a cathedral built on ruins. And they will feel it. They will not understand you, but they will feel you. And some will hate you for it. And some will fall to their knees and weep. And some will follow not as disciples, but as flames catching fire from your wake. And love, yes, love will come, but not like it did before, not as escape, not as soothing. Love will come like a rival, like a mirror that dares to burn back. It will not complete you. It will ignite you, and you will not lose yourself in it. You will multiply. O warrior of will, O son of storm, O daughter of desire, you do not need their heaven. You are already what the angels envy. You do not need their hell. You have walked through a fiercer fire and emerged singing. So, go now, not in peace, but in power, not in quiet, but in resonance. Let them have their order. You have your chaos. Let them have their comfort. You have your kingdom. And if ever again you forget, if the noise returns, if the mirrors warp, if the gravity of sleep pulls at your ankles, remember this. You were not born to be understood. You were born to unmake the world, and in the ruins, to dance, forever aflame, forever becoming, forever you.